Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Sue here from Scrappy Doo Sue. Hope everyone's doing okay. Today I'm going to start the Edith Holden 4 Seasons Autumn envelope folio, and I'm going to loosely follow a video I watched a long time ago and I then watched again recently on official Heather Wilkerson's site. So I'll link her video below, and she has a channel and it's called Official Heather Wilkerson, and she's quite a you know, amongst other things, she's a very good artist, so you know, I like to watch what she gets up to. So I thought I'd loosely follow it because I've now more or less finished spring, summer and winter folios, and they're all different styles of envelope folio. So this one again is another slight variation. So what I've done is I've taken one of these big envelopes which you've seen me use before, and I will measure it for those who haven't seen it. So it is in inches, it is 12, and so it's about 12 3/4 inches wide, which in centimeters would be 31 centimeters, sorry, and then in height centimeters it would be 23, and in inches it is 1/10 over 9 inches. Okay, but you can use any envelope you've got. Heather used a lot of her junk mail envelopes, so that's another thing to use. Now I didn't have any suitable junk mail envelopes that I wanted to use on this, so I'm just using one of these new cream coloured ones, which I've used also on the summer folio. So what I then did is you fold the envelope in half like a book and crease it down the middle here, and then you score either side of that middle fold. So I've just scored either side, and I scored it to make it a 1/2 inch. So I scored it 1/4 inch either side. So there's my middle fold there, you can see. That was the original fold of the envelope when I folded it over like that, and then I scored 1/4 inch either side to make a total of a 1/2 inch spine, and that's really just to allow for the flaps and things that are going to be inside, because obviously there will be a bit of bulk. So then I've just kind of burnished my end folds like that, and want to make sure that that's sitting straight. Now then you need to strengthen that down the inside, and all I've done is use some packaging. This is a lasagna packaging. It's the sleeve of a lasagna that we had. It's got nice thick card, and I've kept it because obviously this is a lovely colour. So this is what I use for tags and journal cards and things. Okay, and all I've done is cut a 1/2 inch of that cardboard, which I am going to then glue down there so it fits exactly in that spine there. Okay, so we'll do that now, and I'm going to use my Beacon 3-in-1 because for this type of thing it's stronger, I think. And for those who don't know, this Edith Holden 4 Seasons envelope folios will feature in a giveaway. So when I reach 500 subscribers, I will do a draw, and the winner of that draw, and they can be anywhere in the world, can choose which of the folios they would like. So it could be spring, summer, autumn or winter. So it's up to them. And I will do a final flip through of all 4 when I finish this one. so then you can make your choice. So I need to reach 500 subscribers. I think at the last count I was on 460. So there you see, it's really kind of strengthened that very, very well. So I need to make sure that's in the right area, which it is, like so. And then I'm going to cover it with a strip of, I've just got some cotton. This was actually a cotton sheet in the days, I think this was one of my mum's sheets actually, because it goes back to the days of not using, having duvets and duvet covers. Mum and Dad didn't have duvets, not during their, you know, younger days anyway. So this is a nice cotton sheet material. So I'm going to glue it, and I wanted it to go either side of there. So it's just over 1 inch wide. Now you can do whatever size. So mine's 1.25 inches, and it goes over the top and the bottom end as well, because I want to tuck it round. So what I want to do is, again, I'm going to use the Beacon 3-in-1, and I'm going to find my I'm just going to mark 1.25 inches, so so 1/2 inch, so 1.25 inches divided by 2. So either side I want so 3/4 inch, so I want, which will be there, so I want half of that, so it's 1/4 plus 2, I think that's right. So that's the half, there's the 1/4 plus 2, and I'm just going to make a little mark there, and the just there. So that's where I want my material to glue down, so it's even. We'll be matting these, so the envelope, so I'm just putting a thin bead of this all the way down here and across there. I'm not pressing hard at all on the bottle, and I'm going across there like so. Okay, so I can then lay mine down, so I know it's going to be evenly distributed across both sides like that. And if we need to put a bit more glue on, we can. So that's that side, and then we're going to put a similar piece on this side. Okay, that's slightly narrower, that piece, but it doesn't matter. Just take those frayed edges off a little bit, and the spine on the outside will be covered on top of this anyway. So see, pulling it sometimes makes it worse. If you want it frayed, that's good, but you know, I don't want it too frayed for this. So again, okay, right, I hate all the fibres everywhere. So I'm just going to, I think Paddy Dog is jumping on the bed. I don't know if you can hear him doing his Olympic twizzles and twirls, gymnastics. He does like a bit of gymnastics. So if you hear that noise, boinging noise, it's him. He's naughty, but keeps him occupied, you know. stops him thinking about couriers and the postman, I think. So what I want to do is I want to fold this piece up over there so that we've got that nicely covered. And so that's just a little fold there. And then I'm going to lay that down over the top there like so. And we'll do the same the other end. So this is being a bit temperamental today, this glue. I swear the weather affects it because it's really turned cold. After our nice Saturday, 2 Saturdays ago, which was really almost like a summer's day, we're in the southeast of the UK, near Buckinghamshire. Well, we're not near Buckinghamshire, we're in Buckinghamshire, near Aylesbury. A town called Aylesbury is what I was intended to say. Okay, so that's the back. So that has strengthened that entirely. Right, I'm just going to pin that. And then we want to reassign those folds. Just refold them like that and that. And it does look like I was a bit too sparing with the glue. I should say, not lenient. I don't know where that word came from today. Lay it flat again, goes like that. So probably should wait for that to dry anyway. Quickly pin that because it's already trying to come out. Okay, right. So I'm just going to refold that side. And that side, and there we have our spine, like so. Okay, and as I said before, I'm just going to put a bit more here. I'm not too worried about the shiny bits showing because this is going to be matted anyway. But also I've got one of those lovely rubbers, and you can use your finger to rub it off. So just give it a light rub, and this Beacon 3-in-1 does come off. That's what I do with my hands because I don't like it on my fingers. Right, okay, so I'm going to kind of leave that to dry, and then I will trim. Might just fold that back in there actually and glue that down. I'll wait for this to dry first though. Okay, so then Heather took a series of envelopes. So what you need is you want at least 8 envelopes, and I decided that it doesn't matter what size they are or shape really, as long as they fit in here and in here, because you're going to need set of them. So I've got 6 envelopes on either side, I've decided. So let's just take those apart. So what we do is you take 2. So again, look, they're different sizes. I'm not going to measure them, you can see what they are. They're all different sizes, so just use whatever you've got, and you're going to lay one on top of the other one like that, and you're going to glue those flats together like that, and then they are going to go to the edge there, and they will be glued down to that there. And then you're going to take another pair, different sizes again, and you're going to do the same with those, glue those flaps down. So I will glue those down and I will trim that one off, and then that one will be glued that side just inside the spine, not butted up to the spine, and they will flap over the top of those. Okay, and then I'd repeat that for this side. Again, it doesn't have to be identical, but because I hadn't got enough suitable junk mail envelopes, they weren't very, mine are not very, I think the UK junk mail envelopes are extremely flimsy, I find. So for this, I wanted something a bit more sturdier. So I'm using envelopes I bought from Julie at Camellia Craft Designs on her Etsy shop, and I can link that below. I have already linked that in the summer envelope folio videos. So, and probably the spring one as well, because I definitely used them in the spring one, but I'll link it below. And then I'm going to put that there, the same principle, glue them together, and they will be popped here near the spine. Okay, and then I decided I was going to take some of these lovely violet envelopes, which are all autumn themed, out of the Country Diary of the Edwardian Lady. So we've got the, you know, the browning leaves, we've got the lovely mushrooms and toadstools, we've got the starling, you know, they're thinking about, I think they fly away and migrate for winter. And then so come autumn you'll see them all gathering together, and then we've got the lovely hazelnuts, not hazelnuts, those are acorns, aren't they? That's a hazelnut, that's definitely hazelnut, and those are acorns, and look how brown the leaves are starting to turn as they do in autumn. And what I thought I would do, because Heather made a flap, so she made a long piece of card that fitted here and fitted here, covered it, and then she made a hinge which she put here, and then the flap came down either side. I'm going to think about putting my envelope there like that, one there. I don't know whether to have them one there and say, for instance, one like this, and then put a closure. There's quite a big gap and I don't have any other envelopes to fit. Or the other option was to have one going this way, one going underneath those two that way, and having a closure to close them down. That would then close the whole lot down, and have a button closure there, and then do the same here. So have one there and one here, and we could have them staggered. So we could have them like that, and we could put the button closure here. So we could have a button closure in the corner there and in the corner there, and maybe go across, or you'll have one there and one sort of here, but he wouldn't be able to go that side then, because I don't want a button over his head. So I'll have to think about that, because it will need some sort of closure, I think. And as I say, Heather used big flaps that came down, but they didn't tie round or anything. So that's kind of going to be the arrangement. And then each of these envelopes will be covered. They'll be matted with the autumn pages out of the Country Diary of the Edwardian Lady and her associated books. So in the UK Northern Hemisphere, autumn starts end of September and goes through to the end of December, believe it or not. And that's Google for you, so don't quote, you know, don't, if you don't agree, then that, sorry, I've knocked that, then that's fine. I understand. So these are all the pages. So you've got the full page here of the hazelnuts and the acorns. On the back you've got some berries. We've got some sycamore leaves, some maple leaves, and berries again here, black bryony. We've got bramble leaves, they've got November ones, and we've got the seeds of the rose bay willow herb, and we've also got song thrush there, and we've got the seeds of the cow parsley, elderberry, and the beech. So that's where you get your beech nuts from. And then we've got ivy that starts to flourish around about end of November, December time. We've got some yellow hammers for October, and that's one of the associated books. And when I say that, these are these books that are the nature notes of the country diary, but not Edith Holden's nature notes. It's a separate book. So there's one for cooking, one for herbs, one for birds, one for creating a butterfly garden. And they've all got these sort of planners in them, and these little images from her country diary of an Edwardian lady, and that is another image there. So I've probably got a few of those. So there's some writing for November and October. I've already used that to make buttons. There's all the toadstools, and that's a December page there. Now the winter starts December, kind of end of December, and the autumn ends end of December, so there's a little bit of crossover with all the seasons. So you'll have seen that image in the winter folio. Again, on the back it's all about October and the mistletoe and everything. So I wouldn't probably use the mistletoe, because for me that is definitely winter. That's October, and that's all the last of the crab apples. You've got your starling again for November, and the maple leaves. There's the yellow hammers again. So again, they're all repeated on these other books, which I have shown you in a previous video. So we've got some dead leaves here of elm, oak, beech, chestnut and sycamore, and on the back the water hen. There's that one again. This is out of the nature notes of the country diary. So it's Edith Holden's nature notes, which is a proper book that is full of her images, and that I think was co-authored between her and someone else. So she did the images, I think, and that's a September image of when the corn is stacked, because it's all been harvested and you're going into autumn. So this is all for the feed for the animals, cows and sheep and everything, to keep them going through the winter. And obviously you've got the rabbits making the most, and you've got the poppies, which are always in the UK and elsewhere synonymous with November and remembrance days for the wars. We've got the green woodpecker. We've got some lovely birds here in some seed heads. Lovely fox there. More berries, and there's the elderberries again, and there's a hawthorn berries. So I've got more than one. Oh, we've got some lovely mushroomy toadstools there. That's a beautiful image. Yes, so there's a repeat of some of the images, because obviously I've got these books. And there we've got house sparrows, and they're on oats in the field. There they are again. That's a lovely wren there, and hedge sparrow. We've got some wild rose berries. Oh, we've got lovely blackberries and the dog rose berries here, which we call rose hips, and you make medicine out of those. Rose hip syrup is good for coughs and colds and things. Goldfinch, all feeding on all the seed heads. So these are the images we'll be using. Well, that's beautiful, with the chestnuts, which are the conkers, which the children love to gather. Got the heathers and all the berries. Look, all the berries. There's a thrush feeding on the rowan berries. And you're still going to have some of your, you know, obviously your flowers will still keep flowering. Some of them will continue. So there's a repeat of those images there. And finally we've got crab apples here, and trees and berries, leaves. And also this is a November image, and this is holly and ivy, and it is the blackbird and the robin and the blue tits. But that is actually out of the Country Diary Notes of Bird Book. So it's, again, it's got all information, which is not all illustrated by Edith Holden, but then you've got her illustrations on some pages. So that was quite a wintry looking one to me, so I don't know that I would use that one. But there you are. But it is in the November page, so in theory it is an autumn image. Okay, so that's what I'll be matting these with. So I'm not going to do those on camera, because what I'm going to do is think about an arrangement for tying these up. And so what I will do with these is I will just cover the front and the back, and I will stick them down, cover them, and then I will make them into a top pocket or a side pocket. So I'll take a slither off of there or there and put a little thumb notch in, and then I'll get them stuck down. So the first thing you want to do is decide what envelopes you're going to use, where you're going to have them, you know, and then before you put them all down, we will cover this to start with. We're going to cover this inside first, and I'm going to cover this with just the writing pages from the books, and then we'll stick the envelopes down to that. And then once they're stuck down, so they'll be kind of like this, so you'll see the flap there, you'll see the flaps there, then we'll mat over the top with an image, so that will be nice. So I'm going to go through those pages now and select the images that I want for all of these envelopes, and the images that are going to go in here after the envelopes have gone on, and also then decide on a front and a back cover image. So that's what I'm going to do, and then I will come back. See you shortly. Hi everyone, I'm back. Right, so I did all that tedious stuff off camera because I didn't think you'd be interested in seeing it again. So what I've done is I showed you all the envelopes I had for either side. I just moved those away for a moment. So I covered the front cover with that scene and put the cotton down the back and down the centre, matted either side as I said I was going to do, and then I've put the closure, which I thought this was a lovely colour, reminds me of autumn really. So the closure is on there. I'll probably have to trim that down, I think. That's glued there and under that mat at the back, but it's not at the front because I didn't want it glued across the front. Okay, so this obviously is the image on the back. So what I've done while I've been off camera is I took the two sets of envelopes, two sets of two, and I've matted these. So let's just get these back into some order. Okay, so these have been matted back and front, and these are going to be glued there, and they're going to be glued by their flaps. So I'm going to glue the two flaps together, and what I've done is I made this one a top pocket here, and this one is a side pocket. Okay, so that they are going to go there, and then these two are for the other side of the front cover, and again I've matted the front and the back of both, and these I haven't made into any pockets or tucks because I'm going to add pockets to them and different things, you know, side tucks, that sort of thing. So they will go there like that, so they will all flip up this way and this way. And then on this back piece, I've got this pair here, which I've matted front and back, and this one is a side pocket. This one I've left plain because I think I'll put a side tuck on it, so they will go there like this. And then these two go this side, and this one's a top pocket and this one's a side pocket, and so they will go like that there. So we've got to glue those down, and then hopefully that's still in camera. Before I do that, I want to put something to cover that cotton up. So I've got this crochet trim, which was white, but I dyed it myself with a tea bag. Just a tea bag in a little pot of hot water. Works wonders if you only want to dye the odd thing here and there and not have to do a huge batch. So I am going to first of all glue this down here, just to cover that there, like so. So we'll do that now with the Beacon 3-in-1. We'll glue down the envelopes and then we'll call that a video, I think. I think that needs a little bit more glue on there. It does need the Beacon 3-in-1, I think, when you're gluing anything to material, I've found. Just is stronger and, you know, makes a huge difference. Otherwise things just keep coming up all the time. Okay, and because it's thick crochet trim, this glue's not going to show through, so I think we'll have it that way round, I think. And I just want to put it down evenly as best I can here and here. And just give that a wipe down. If you use a dry cloth, well, this is a dry wipe. If you use a dry wipe and just blot it, it takes up a lot of the excess of this Beacon 3-in-1 and takes away that shine, you know. So that's there. So okay, we'll leave that to dry. So we want to get these down. So what Heather did was so I'm going to sort of decide where I want them positioned, and then I'm going to glue together the flaps. So I'll use this clown. I haven't gone to the edge because I don't, so let's just move that out of the way for a minute. Okay, this will squash out. I just want to make sure that they're where I want them to be, like that. So there's an excess of it there, because as I say, it does have a tendency to squash out, but you have got some movement time with it, which is good. So you've got to make sure they still hinge like that. And then that's because this does still make this bubbly. Any thinner paper, this glue does, even though it's the tacky Kalau. So bring back so I'm just going to move those over to there and these to here. So I just have to make sure I remember which goes where and that they're all up the right way. So this is going to be glued down now, this flap, to the edge of here. Okay, so we will use the Kalau. It's made it very, very bubbly, but we were going to mat over the top of these flaps anyway. Okay, so just move that up like that, and then this is going to go to the edge evenly, top and bottom, just inside the edge, not completely to the edge, and I'm giving that a press down, and then I will give this a press down on here, like so. So that's the first set, so we'll leave that open for these to dry, because sometimes they will stick down otherwise, because this is still a bit tacky. Okay, so now we want to do the other set that are going this side. So as you can see, the flaps are on this side, and they will go just to there, so that you can still shut this. And I just want to see where I want them, so those will go over like that, those will be there, and they will go there, I think, in line with that. So I'm just going to put a little pencil mark there so that I can see where they need to go. So I've got different flaps, so I'm going to trim off this one, get rid of that, and then just pop that over there for a second, because then we're going to glue this one down here like this. I've just removed my sticking mat. Should have left it on here really. So skip that. Press down and make sure those are okay. Make sure they flap, and they do. So we want them flapping this way. And just giving that a wipe down there. So that flaps over to there, and that flaps. Okay. Right. That then, bring back the main piece. This then, where's my mark there? So this is going to be glued, not completely butted up to this, just a slither inside of it. So I'm just going to put it against that mark. So I just want to now glue this piece. And I'm going to place that there against my mark. Make sure that's straight down there. Okay, check the hinging of it, and then press that completely down there, like so. So then we have them like this. Just making sure they're where I want them to be, like that. Okay, so you've got this affair here, like this. Okay, and now we'll just do the other side. The other side are opposites. Okay, put those to one side. So we do this pair first. So I'm going to similar sizes, so I might as well try and get them as close as possible to that one. So again, I'm just going to make a mark there, which I can rub off afterwards. Yep, that's fine. Okay, checking everything's up the right way, and then we will glue these down together. So again, not as completely to the edge of that flap. So this needs to come down slightly, and check the flaps right down there. Check that, that's all right. Right, okay, so now this one, I have to try and keep these ties out of the way, is going up against there like so. Right, okay, so I am just going to glue this back flap and let's move that over, keeping this tie out of the way, and that one, and there's my mark. And that looks okay. Okay, so let's check the flap. That's okay. I'm just spreading that glue out. I find it easier to do with my hand and a dry wipe than to do it with the foam folder, really. Or you can do it with either. Okay, so okay, and then we're going to put the other pair here. So again, I'm just going to judge where I want them kind of symmetrical in a way, because they don't have to be. It's your choice how you want them in. I've just chosen to do mine like that. So right, okay, and again I'm going to trim off this flap and glue that down. I'm not squeezing the bottle, I'm just spreading this out a little bit. Okay. Okay, that flap's fine, that one's fine. Right, bring back our book, and these are then going to go here like this. Very cold day today, I have to say. When I took Paddy Dog out earlier, it was so chilly. I felt like I could have had my gloves with me. It was that cold. So again, I don't want to go too near that spine, so I just want to make sure that's okay. We don't want them to impede that at all. So to make sure that is straight. Like that, and they can go under or over however you want them. So that is what mine is going to look like. Okay, so here's our spine. We will be putting some lace down this at some point. So we've got our closure. I don't know, that's how it's going to close. I probably could trim a little bit off of this end, I think. It's slightly longer, but I'll leave it until the very end. You can't put it back on once you've taken it off, can you? Okay, and I'll trim those when that's completely dry. So for now, where's my glue rubber? I can just see a shiny... This glue rubber is very simple, very cheap. I think they're under £3 on Amazon, and very effective. Okay, so what we need to do next, when this is all dry, I'm going to leave it to dry now. When we come back, I will have found a piece to mat underneath here and another one here. Okay, so I'm just going to leave that to dry now, and then I'll see you all again soon. Okay, so let's shut this up a little bit. Let's see, can be either way. The top, they can be on top or they can be on top. It does not matter. I think maybe I have those on top, like that. Right, okay. Make sure that sticks down. Right. Okay, so that's it for now. So it's the start of the Edith Holden 4-season series, using her country diary and her nature notes books, and it's autumn, so I'm going to find something nice to decorate the front of this. And I did find that word autumn in her book, so I may use that. That one actually says to autumn, but we'll see. I'll think about it. Okay, so hope you enjoyed that, because as I said earlier, I'm thinking about then possibly I don't know if it's going to need a closure actually. I don't know, so I was thinking about using these, but these could go in pockets. So I was going to sort of I don't know, use these, but if I've got side pocket, you know, now I've stuck all this down, don't know that I want to really, so I think we'll leave that. Yeah, that was, I wasn't sure about that anyway. Might put something heavy on this. Okay, so I'll leave you with that, and I'll see you again soon for the next episode. Thank you very much. Bye bye.